Greetings. Alright, you guys. I'm going to do something that I don't usually do. Like, this is not typically my style of reading or the things that I look into or tap into. But I feel led, okay, to do this. And I felt drawn to this Disney Villains deck. Like, I've been looking at it and overlooking it for so long that I finally went ahead and just purchased it. And I feel like it is kind of like a karmic energy type of reading. Hey sis, how you doing? So I'm gonna sit down and do this reading, you guys, because I felt led to. Just go ahead and just jump in and do it. And I have a karmic deck that was gifted to me by one of my supporters a while back, so I don't really use it like that. Like, I think I used it on the channel maybe a couple of times. And so you're just up thinking, well, hopefully you can find something in this message. Now keep in mind, you guys, I'm not into like karmic readings like as this, like telling you what's going on. It's like some type of tea or gossip, and then like give you a strategy on how to properly handle the situation in the spirit, not focusing on the person and their faults, but the demon or the spirit operating in them. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're after. That's what we're focusing on, not the person, the counterfeit, aka karmic energies. We're not talking about that. More so the spirit behind the person, so that you know what you're dealing with, okay? So please use your discernment, you guys. I'm not here, like, this is not tea and gossip type of readings. I'm not into that type of stuff. So let's tap into the energy surrounding any type of counterfeit or karmic energy, okay? So we're dealing with the spirit, the energy behind the person, what's operating in them, not the person, okay? Some of you guys, a karmic energy could be your mother. Like, I did a reading already on that. You got the Magician card. And nothing I'm telling you should be new to you. It should be things you already know, or things you already know in spirit, because divine spirit already revealed it to you, okay? Yeah. Okay. You got the Magician card. And this is the voodoo man from The Princess and the Frog. The High Priestess is, I believe this is Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Justice, I don't know who this character is. I'm going to have to look them up. I don't know who this person is. What are their powers? And then Queen of Cups, you got Ursula from The Little Mermaid. So this karmic or counterfeit is a 50-50. It's a perfect balance between a masculine and feminine energy, or a male or female karmic, okay? Male karmics or counterfeits, they are into magic, they're into voodoo, they're into some type of dark arts. They may even be into readings, whether do their own readings or tarot readings. This person could also have, like, be into, like, voodoo dolls, or literally voodoo or hoodoo. I'm not really against things like that. I don't agree with, like, darker aspects of harming people and stuff like that. I'm not into that. And manipulating people. I'm not into that aspect of it. But I feel like this person, something with, like, it doesn't have to be literally like they have a voodoo doll of you or anything like that, but this person has qualities of being quite manipulative. With the High Priestess card could be, again, like a feminine energy that knows how to tap in, how to monitor. But for some reason, this counterfeit feels like somebody's mother. Or karmic feels like someone's mom. They have gifts too. This feminine karmic feels like a mother or somebody's parental figure. If it's not yours, then it's your person, whether you have a specific person that you are with or you're supposed to be with. That's something that you should already know within you. I'm not here to confirm nor deny that whoever you have on your mind is your person or nothing. I'm not doing all of that. or someone that you haven't even come into union or contact or even know yet, that this person is like already trying to manipulate love for you or for your person. This could be on your person's end, and you don't have to know your person. If you're already spiritually connected to this person before you even know them, see their face, you know them in spirit and essence, you can pick up, and spirit may even be giving you spiritual tactics and strategies to either pray for this person or know what it is that you're dealing with so that you can pray for this person, or um, just kind of know how to approach the situation. So this Ursula and this high priestess, this maleficent energy, for some of you, this is someone that has been either after you or your person since birth. If you ever seen Sleeping Beauty before, the witch has the queen or whatever she was into dark magic. She put a spell on the baby, on Sleeping Beauty, at since she was a baby. And I feel like for some of you that is the thing. Like there's some type of energy like that. And I'm not telling you anything, like I said, that you don't already know. And this is not to scare anyone. If you know how spiritual warfare and spiritual attacks work, it's not something to scare you. You're smarter than that. You're wiser than that. And this is, you know who you are. You're chosen, right? Justice. Another masculine energy. This is somebody that, like I said, they kind of like, they're a karmic energy for sure. It's a masculine that is a karmic for sure. Most definitely. Not a man. And they wear masks. You see these men, they have masks or some type of war paint or something on their faces. Hey sis. So they cloak themselves or they project themselves. Maybe they masquerade themselves to match your energy, or they say things to make you feel like you guys are on the same page, or they feel the same way that you do, or they see life the same way that you do, but they're playing a game. They're the counterfeit. Counterfeits are, they're not the real thing. Sometimes they feel or they project themselves to be the real thing, but they're not the one. They're not for you. Their whole thing is to match your energy. And I see that is what this male or this masculine counterfeit slash karmic is. The feminine karmics to me don't feel like love interests. They feel like mother figures or something, or grandmothers or something. Aunties, maybe even big sisters. I'm getting like, these are older women. I don't feel like these are romantic partners. And for some of you, maybe they are. Let's see. I've been shuffling this deck long enough. Let's see. Blocked. I made him block you on social media. So whoever these karmics are that's blocking you, or these counterfeits, it feels like these are the feminine energies. Like a mother figure, or someone that's very domineering or controlling, like has a strong, could be a woman with a very strong masculine energy that may have told your person to block you, block your number, block you on social media, stop talking to you. You know too much, and I don't like that. Yeah, of course not. I tried to act like divine. Look, girl, telling you, there's a masculine energy that y'all may be dating, dealing with, talking to, may think is the divine counterpart, but they are not. They're the counterfeit. I feel like it's a man. And for some of you, if you're same sex or you're a woman, same sex relationship or something, it could be a woman that's the masculine energy, but this person is projecting to be the divine masculine, and they are not. They're trying to match you, your vibration, and they're using like spells, witchcraft, or just like the essence of manipulation, the spirit of manipulation, and mind games, and like trying to mirror your energy to relate to you, but they are not your person. They're not. And that is confirmation. Like I said, I tried to act like the divine. They're not. Things are not good between us, like we post up on social media. So for some of you, your person could be dealing with a counterfeit or like a karmic person. Spirit doesn't want you like checking up on what somebody is doing, especially if they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something. Like, Spirit doesn't want you tapping into that or focusing on that, because I feel like it's projection. And I'm not one to encourage somebody to like get in the middle of somebody's relationships or wish down or wish bad on somebody's relationship. But I'll say it like this: like, if somebody that you're supposed to be with, or Spirit has confirmed most definitely, and this is not coming out of your own mind or some reader told you, or you just, you've drawn that conclusion without any divine confirmation that a person and you are supposed to be together, or you're like caught up in it has to be a specific person without any confirmation. Like I said, I'm not speaking to those people, because I do not want to be responsible, and I'm not going to be responsible for anybody's delusions or anybody's false hopes. I'm not here to do that. So I'm real with it. This is for those of you that know for a fact, or Spirit has confirmed to you, shown you that, and you're not obsessing and it has to be this person and all this twin flame stuff. No, I'm not that reader. I'll say it right now. I am not that reader. So if you know for a fact that the person you're supposed to be with is for you, Spirit confirmed it, there's a purpose behind your union, your connection, there's something greater behind it. You'll know if somebody is not for your person, because you can see right through it. You can be like, they are not equally yoked. They are not a vibrational match. What is he doing with her? What is she doing with him? Or what is she doing? Yeah, like that, these connections, you could see right through it. You know that these people are not supposed to be together, but it's not for you to step in. They got to go through the cycle and the lessons on their own. And my mentor always says this: she said, you don't compete with the counterfeit. You're set at a different standard. You're not supposed to try to be like that person, because they're not even the person. So why would you compete or try to match their energy, or try to prove that you're the better counterfeit when you're not? That's not even you. You're called to be you, and vice versa. If you feel threatened by this counterfeit, whether it's a man or whether it's a woman, you shouldn't be threatened, because they're not you. And not to look down upon this person, but it's like they have their own person, potentially, maybe. Not everybody is called to the same path, but they're not for your person. They don't hold that key. They don't have that essence. They don't hold that anointing. They don't hold the same calling or the purpose or what's ordained. So why trip off of that? It's not to be like you're better, or you're better suited for the person because you guys were called to be together. That's the only thing that sets you apart and who you're called to be. You're not supposed to be like the counterfeit. You're not supposed to be competing or trying to. You're not even supposed to be trying to get your person's attention either. They gotta wake up to the truth on their own. If it be that this is in fact your person, and Spirit said this is your husband, or this is your wife, or this is your person, or your one, or this is whatever, it's gonna come to pass. So why trip? If they're not for you, and you're tying yourself to a soul tie, and you're waiting on somebody that's not meant for you, and they're tied to someone else, release that. Cut that soul tie off, so that the right person for you can come. And for some of you guys, you are entertaining a male karmic. For some of you, if you guys are a male, maybe even a woman, you guys have a feminine energy around you, or a mother figure, maternal figure, or something that is tied to you, that has too much access to you, has too much power over the situation. They're nosy, they're a monitor spirit. You need to get them out of your way, or put boundaries up, protect your energy. But most definitely, if somebody's dealing with a counterfeit male or masculine, karmic masculine or male, whatever, get rid of them. Cut them off. Cut them off. And some of these males, I'm going to clarify this just to be sure, but some of these masculines or males, they're under some type of like work or magic. Because this magician and high priestess keeps standing out to me. The Empress. She came out in my last reading, and so did the Hangman. Python spirit and somebody's mother. This mother figure tries to mirror you, tries to act like you, compete with you. They may want something that you have. They benefit off of your energy, off of your essence. Or, like I said, whoever your counterpart is, they may be dealing with a maternal figure like that. With this Hangman, the snake, Ka, they are hypnotic. They play with your mind. So whoever these people are, and there's so many major arcanas. There's only one minor arcana, which is the Queen of Cups. All the other cards are major arcana. So Spirit, I feel like, is calling these things out. I would pray against witchcraft and spells on your love life, on you, over your person. Whether you know who your person is yet or not, still pray for them. Because they exist somewhere, even if you don't know who they are yet. They exist. Any type of generational trauma, karma. Yeah, right. Karma, trauma, generational patterns, generational covenants. False soul contracts, soul ties, pray against that on your end and your person's end. Like I said, whether you know your person or not, that they break covenant with any karmics, any counterfeits, any soul ties, spirit husbands, spirit wives. Like, pray all of that off. The Python spirit, the orphan spirit. I call back forth my power, any power that I gave away, because Ursula, she took Ariel's voice. Ariel willingly gave her voice away. She sold herself over to this woman to get something that was already meant for her. And she tricked her. Ursula tricked her. So even though Ursula cloaked herself as this beautiful woman in order to marry Eric, that spell didn't work for long. The spell was broken. So again, some of you guys might be in a situation where someone is close to marrying a counterfeit or thinking about marrying a counterfeit, may even be engaged to a counterfeit. But I feel like for some of you, I can't confirm this for every one of you, that situation is not going to prosper because there's spell work behind it, or there's some type of manipulation behind that. What was I going to say? And if it be that these people go through with these situations, take a step back and leave it alone and live your life. If it's your person, it's not, that union is not going to stand. But once someone marries somebody and they make that vow, that's a covenant, and you don't want to mess with that. Leave it alone. But like I said, if it's truly meant for you and this person to be together, that situation is not going to stand. That union's not going to stand because it wasn't built on the right things. But it's not for you to get in the middle of it and try to convince this person to be with you, or for you to pine after somebody that's married and live your life. And like I said, because this is like really tricky. I have to be careful and keep in mind and be sensitive to the fact that we're all different and our situations are going to be different and unique. But that's why I always say, like, go to source about everything. Do not put all of your hopes and do not put all of your confirmations and revelations and messages in another human outside of the divine. The divine should be your first source of information. Me and any other person that is a human, that is some type of voice, guidance, whatever, advisor, spiritual advisor, prophet, whatever, seer, they should be second opinion, not first opinion, and not the end all be all. Okay? Because this is like serious shit, for real. Counterfeits and all of that, spirit husbands and spirit wives, they're only designed to set you off path, to get you off your purpose and path and your person's purpose and path. This isn't just some mean girl cat fight energy. Oh, she's the karmic, and I don't do all that. I'm real with this. On a spiritual level, on some real stuff, no, it's not catty games and mean girl games. This is spiritual warfare. Like, these people are here in place to offset someone's purpose and plan that the divine has. They're just agents at the end of the day. And some people are being used and they don't know that they're used because of their own wounds, their own agendas. Oh, I just want who I want. I want to be with this person because they got money or they got clout, fame, or I want to be with this person because we got kids together, even though we're not supposed to be together. We're not happy. We're miserable. All of those wounds and superficiality. Oh, I'm gonna be with her because she fine, and oh, because we have a good time and we turn up, like superficial stuff that's gonna pass. Whatever draws a person to a karmic or a counterfeit, those wounds or those superficial desires and those lusts are being exploited by the enemy for a bigger plan, which is to keep these two people that are supposed to be together separated. Why? Because there's a purpose behind it. If this is truly a divine using that spirit called together, you have a purpose together. You have your own individual purposes, whether one person is operating in that or they know what their purpose is, or the other person is just lollygagging in life and most likely probably is if they're dealing with a counterfeit and entertaining a counterfeit and may even think that the counterfeit is their person, is keeping them in a karmic cycle, in a loop of delusion, and not getting the point, not seeing what their spiritual path is. When you come into harmony or you come into awareness of who your person is, it's only because you become aware and self-aware of yourself that you can identify your person. Someone's mother is like heavy on trying to make you believe, or someone else's, if it's not you, then your person's mother is very dead set on making one believe that they're just like them. And whoever's mother is saying this, you're not like your mother. That's the word curses that they're trying to speak over you to make you believe that you're just like them so you can live the life like them and not progress past them, not reach your destiny. And that is not true. You guys remember, if you ever watched Tangled, her mother kept her in that castle, kept her in this illusion because she knew there was power in Rapunzel's hair. Our hair is connected to what? Our mind, our head, our crown chakra. So she's stealing all of her mental property. She's stealing her energy, her essence, tampering with her mind, gaslighting her. Like, some of you, that could be the situation. And for some of you, that may not be yours. It may be your person's. But definitely some type of maternal figure here. The Knight of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Some Gaston-ass dude. Like I said, counterfeit. That seems like they got it together. They got this, what's that, what do they call it, that smile, what do they call it, this Coca-Cola smile, this $1 million smile. They got the look, but they're extremely egotistical. They're bird-brained. They have no level of intelligence, like no conversation. They don't have hearts. They don't have humbleness about them. They're just this fine vessel. And yeah, maybe other women want this person, but there's nothing that they have to offer. Yep, he's a narcissist. Exactly. Gaston ain't got nothing to offer. They just look good on paper, or they just look good physically. Girl, what's at the top of the deck? Wow, look, the slipper. All we've been talking about is Cinderella. Like, what is this? 5, 6, 7. The 7 of Swords. And you see that paper in her hand. I feel like that's a contract. This is the evil stepmother from Cinderella, trying to keep this person from their purpose. I'm telling you, these karmic people, these counterfeit people, counterfeit parents, counterfeit mothers, counterfeit partners, whatever, friends, they know your destiny. They may not know it to the T. They may not know it in fine detail, but they know enough. Oh, they know enough. High Priestess, they know enough. Some of them known since birth who you were called to be. They know. They may be getting it from a demonic intelligence, but they know. And they're going to stop you. They're going to try to, at least. The shoe can also represent one's path. A shoe is like what you use to walk around with, right? So that's your path. That's your walk. Trying to deceive to stop you from walking the path, but they can't do that. And shout out to Shima. She hit me up and she gave me her revelation of that Cinderella message that I put out the other day. And she had her own messages that were coming through as well. And she referenced the slipper and how the slipper was a reflection. It was a mirror. And there was a point that she reminded me of in the movie where the prince had the shoe that was left behind at the ball. Everything deteriorated. Her dress deteriorated. Her pumpkin, her carriage turned back into a pumpkin. Her horseman turned back into back into the mice and all of that. Everything went back to its normal state again, except for the slipper. And the slipper was left behind as evidence for the prince to take with him. So he went out into the village or into the land looking for whoever could fit that shoe. Nobody could fit that shoe but one person, right? Soon as he comes into the house, they find a way to break that slipper. But the thing is, Cinderella had one slipper left when she got home that night. So she had that extra slipper. So no matter what type of tricks the enemy has up their sleeve or whoever is being used, at the end of the day, prophecy still stands. The promise still stands. Destiny still stands. No enemy, and I'll say this again, like in all the other messages, no demon in hell, no enemy, no hater is going to stop that. It's written. It's destined. See, the enemy will trick for a time and make you believe that you're failing or that you're losing and try to get you to forfeit your promise. But their weapons are formed, but they are not going to prosper. Especially if you're chosen and you're called for something by the divine, it's not going to work. There can be delays. You can delay your own process. You can self-sabotage your own process. Other people might, and sometimes spirit likes to allow that to happen so that spirit can see, like, to show you, I'm more powerful than any voodoo and any hoodoo or any type of hater on this planet. I'm way more powerful than that. Try me. Them glamorous spells and the witchcraft and the sex and all of that's only going to last for so long. It's not going to prosper. It's not going to work. You can't keep a man or a woman with that. You can't keep a woman with money for too long. They're going to get tired of you. They're going to get tired of the cheating. They're going to get tired of the good looks and the big booties and the BB. Like, that stuff is going to fade. When you level up, when you wake up, that superficial stuff to a spiritual person, to a person that's really called and really chosen, that stuff don't mean nothing. Especially when you heal your wounds and you're no longer caught up in the spirit of lust and you're not caught up in that orphan spirit seeking validation from men or seeking validation from women and your money and how, because a woman can get all the surgery in the world and still feel like she ain't shit. That's because it's the healing, the deliverance, the liberation, and the power does not come from the BBLs or the fake titties and the fake hair and how many men you got in your DM or how many women you got on your jock or how many subscribers or followers you got, how much money, your yachts and your travel trips. None of that's going to fulfill you because the healing is not in that stuff. Your identity, your divine identity doesn't lie in that stuff. So if you're looking for a partner that feeds the lust and the ego inside of you and the wounded little boy or little girl inside of you, you're never going to be fulfilled. Wounded men, that's why they sleep with all these women. They're trying to get their manhood back. They're trying to prove to themselves that they are the man, and the woman, you know, going out, buying this, buying that, dressing like this, with her booty out and her shorts all short, you know, all of that. Like, yeah, you might get some attention, but it ain't good attention. The person that's for you don't care about all that stuff. They don't care about the Mac. They don't care about the Fashion Nova. They don't give a shit about that. A real person, a real man or woman, whatever you're into, the person that's for you, they don't care about that. So if somebody is threatened by a counterfeit, because a lot of times the counterfeit, they look good. They do. Either they got the money or they got the status or they got the body. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous, or they, you know what I mean? But there's something lacking. There's something lacking in that person, and you'll look at yourself and be like, oh, I'm not this, I don't have that, oh, whatever. At the end of the day, if you pay attention, the person that maybe that you're, let's say for instance, for those of you that Either you are with your person, or your person, you know who they are. Spirit has already revealed it to you, told you, showed you multiple times. It's not you forcing it, not you trying to chase it or control it, but you know that you know. And you may see this person dating this person and that person, taking this person out on dates, sleeping with that one, and all of that. You see all of this. Yep. You see all of this playing out, and you're saying to yourself, like, deep down inside, you know, like, obviously something ain't working for this person. Why can't they see me? Because they don't see themselves. So they're not going to see you until they see themselves. So they see their true identity of who they're called to be, or they heed to that call. They're not going to be able to see the person that is an extension of them. They're not going to see it. So you can't force a person to wake up or to see you or to realize you or to be with you or to marry you. They got to get it on their own. And so you get tired of playing the same cycle with yourself, chasing this and chasing that. You get tired of that, right? We all have been through a spiritual awakening, maybe multiple ones. You get tired of that lifestyle. I'm going to speak from experience. When I was like 18, 19 years old, I got like slowed down by having my daughter around 19 and 20 years old. I gave birth to my daughter when I was 20. Got pregnant late in my, like 19 years old, late at that time. And I was partying. I wanted to be seen so badly. I was going to clubs. I was working for clubs and promoting and trying to bump into celebrities. And me and my god sister, we was just out there, right? Didn't know nothing about my true identity. As a little girl, I knew my giftings and things like that, but I wasn't focusing on that. I wasn't tapping in fully into that. I was so focused on trying to be seen and trying to be like these video models and vixens and double XLs and dating men that were all into that, or boys at the time that was all into, you know, the latest pinup heifer in the magazine and trying to be like the next rapper, the Jay-Z's and the Young Jeezys and all that. I was in that lifestyle, and it wasn't until I went through my spiritual awakening where I was like, I can't even work at a normal job anymore. Like, and I did for a while, but after it was like, this is not what I want to do in life. And I can't pretend like I can do this anymore. I can't be in this relationship anymore. I can't talk to these same people anymore. Eventually, I cut off a best friend or someone that I thought was my best friend. Like, I can't live like this no more. And it took years to finally, like, it was a domino effect. Don't get me wrong, it was a domino effect. But I was chasing something that was not who I was called to be. And I was not happy. I thought I was okay. I thought I was happy because I was getting those temporary fulfillments. I was getting attention and going to clubs and meeting celebrities and going to parties and had all these dudes. But I was not happy. And now I can't even look at a certain type of man anymore and be appeased by it. It's like, what can you do for me? And I'm not talking about financially. Like, you don't stimulate me spiritually, emotionally, nothing. Like, you cute, but okay. And yeah, you got to go through a couple of counterfeits in order to learn what you want and what you need and heal. But whoever this person is that you may be dealing with, or you know, or maybe you haven't even met yet, till they get tired of that same cycle, until they face themselves and meet themselves and even allow themselves to meet their true self, they're going to run into the same cycle until they get tired. Because you're going to burn yourself out running in a circle. Trust me. Because that's all it is. You're not going to find peace and healing in a big ass. It gets boring after a while, right? So if you're looking at, oh, well, she's prettier and oh, he's talking, so what? So what? And the person's mothers and all of that, like, that stuff, that childhood trauma and exploiting it, it's only going to work for so long. Because it goes back to the identity again. Like, our true identity doesn't come through our parents and our, you know, our parental figures first. It comes from source. Let me pull from my deck. Yeah, and then another thing too, they're not you. That's another thing. Like, this person does not hold the capacity to love this person, speak life for this person, activate this person, inspire them in the same way. And if you're chosen, you have that effect on a lot of people. Truth be told. But there's only a certain part of you and capacity that is held sacred and protected by the divine for the right person for you. So yeah, you may inspire because you're gifted, you're anointed, you have a purpose, you have a calling. So yeah, you're going to inspire people, you're going to spark people, you're going to heal people, and you may even have all kind of people thinking that they're in love with you because of your energy. But there's a part of you that is going to always be cloaked and protected. There's a mantle over you, and not everybody is able or supposed to have access to that part of you. Not everybody's going to have access to you. And that's why Spirit will probably want to allow you to sleep with certain people, or allow you to date certain people, or allow it to last too long, because they got to call you out of that for a little bit, because your energy activates people, and maybe that's all you're meant to do, and then step out of that person's life, because these people could suck your energy dry or try to benefit off of your anointing and your gifting to promote themselves and to elevate themselves in life, and leave you high and dry, because they're just assignments. They're just seasonal people. They're not meant to stay. They are not meant to stay. You're not for everybody. Yep. A lot of people are going to desire you sexually. They're going to find you attractive. They're going to find you appealing. Yeah, they're going to want to link up with you. They're going to want to get to know you. But very few of them, if any of them, but the person that's for you, they're not going to be the one that's equipped to love you and handle the person that you are. Because the person that you are, there's a force behind you. You belong to the divine source first. So that light inside of you will spark many, but there's only one person outside of the divine that holds the capacity and the key to walk in that light, to marvel in that light, to respect that light, to speak into that light, to protect that light, but your person. That's how you know who your person is. I just gave somebody a key right there, and I just gave my damn self a key right there. That's how you know. They are going to speak life into you in a way that nobody else, no other man or woman or whatever you dated before can do for you. And you'll know it's authentic because it sparks you. Like, damn. Now, I'm not talking about inspiration where, like, you're watching a reading and somebody says, or a prophet or a family member or someone that speaks to you and, like, gives you that inspiration, but they spark you in a way that nobody else can. Nobody else has the capacity. They will honor your light. They will marvel at your light. They will respect your light. They will speak into your light. They're not going to be offended, nor intimidated, nor trying to darken or dim your light, trying to let me knock you down a few inches. You got to get down to my level. Oh, women ain't supposed to. No. This person going to be like, yes, babe, that's my boo. That's my queen. That's my goddess. Or that's my king. Like, the person's for you ain't going to be intimidated. They might be a little scared, like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but I'm going to do it because something about this one, because their purpose is in your purpose and vice versa. That's why you got to already be in your purpose. They ain't going to be like, oh, Kevin Samuels type stuff telling you, oh, you're average at best, and oh, you a high value, like that superficial, worldly, oh, I gotta humble a woman down to a level to make them feel lesser than a man. That ain't your person. They calling you all kind of B's and H words, and you ain't this, you ain't that, or trying to make you question your beauty and your worth or your that ain't your person. I'll tell you that right now. That is not your person. False idol, self-care, unprecedented favor. The spirit doesn't want you to focus on your self-care, nurturing and watering your own garden at this time, and work on not putting love on a pedestal or making it your idol or your god at this time, or your person, or who is it, like anything that you put before yourself in the Most High is an idol. So balance that energy out, and doors are going to open for you in ways that nobody else is going to be crazy. Like, how did that happen? Cinderella was a servant girl, and possibly overnight, she in the palace. And don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. It's not a savior thing, because she worked. She worked. She put up with some stuff. But she had that spark of faith, and that this fairy godmother, divine, came through, shown her the miracle, the supernatural, made a way for her. She got in that carriage because it was time sensitive. She had to get to that ball at a time sensitive. She had to be back home. It was a time sensitive thing. That Kairos time. She had to be there at a certain time, and she had to be back at a certain time. So move when Spirit says move. Spirit's going to make a way for you. Don't worry about how, the when's, the ways, and the how. And it's going to come in a way that Spirit's going to be the only person, not even person, the only essence that's going to be able to take credit for this. Right. Her father had money, and the wicked stepmother probably used the daddy for his money and got her daughters in on it and tried to strip Cinderella of her birthright. And that's another thing too. What's for you is for you, and nobody can take it away. Even for a time, if they have you believe that you are the lesser, that you are the bottom, you're the head and not the tail. Even if they try to convince you you're the tail, you are the head. You're sovereign already. We already said that in that Cinderella message. You're already sovereign. You're born sovereign. Because you belong to the divine first. Not this world, not this earth. So a person can come to you and say how much money they got in their bank account. Oh, this is what I do for a living. I got this whatever diploma. I got this degree in this, and I had got this title and label. So what? Those are earthly titles. Not to say that anybody shouldn't be happy or proud of those things, but those are not something to try to like boast yourself above and beyond, because those are just earthly titles. You have a divine identity first. So you should never be threatened or feel underneath or insecure by earthly things. When you know your identity, your divine identity, that stuff, the beauty and the handsomeness and the cars and that stuff, earth-based, worldly stuff. It means nothing. At the end of the day, when we leave this earth, it means nothing. It means something for a time maybe and to other people, but when you leave this planet, that stuff means nothing. So whatever spirit is moving and opening up for you, walk through it and trust Spirit on this one. And it's going to be crazy. Like I said, it's going to be like, how? How did you get here? Like Deborah Cox, nobody's supposed to be. How did you get here? How did this happen for you? Nobody else is your mama ain't going to be able to say it. Your dad, your best friends, your professor, your boss. Nobody's going to be able to say, oh, I helped so-and-so get to that. Oh, I put them to, no. Like, you might have divine helpers and stuff like that, but the way that this stuff is going to move, people going to be like, how the hell did that happen? Because it's supernatural. It's something that is far beyond divine it's far beyond human comprehension. It's not going to make sense in the physical. And, like, I understand that as humans, we can't conceptualize supernatural things sometimes, or we can't even fathom, and that's how it's supposed to be. But sometimes we can discount the possibility of something supernatural happening because of how we've grown up, or how we see the world and what's happening in everybody's life around us. And that's the miracle, that's the blessing in it. That's where the faith shows up. And a lot of you guys are going to have a testimony because of what you've been through in life. And it might look like you're going to be the last. You're never going to be the one. Like, a point that I was getting in the Cinderella message yesterday was that she showed up seemingly late. Like, Cinderella walked into the ball seemingly late. Like, everybody was already in line. You're going to skip the line. Everybody that's waiting for that thing, Spirit is going to make a way for you because it was already yours. Cinderella didn't have to show up on time because regardless if she showed up when the door is open to the ball or after the ball closes, she was still going to get her what she was supposed to get out of that situation because it was appointed for her to. So it might look like you're behind schedule or you're getting older or you're the late bloomer and you never had this, you never had that. It's going to be right on time. It's going to be right on time. So focus on yourself right now. Self-care, self-reflection. Just focus on you. Soul ties. Yeah, somebody needs to cut a soul tie most definitely. Okay? Or if you suspect or you've been getting the revelation or confirmation that a person that you were supposed to be with is in a soul tie or caught up in a counterfeit situation, pray that this person frees themselves of any soul ties and maybe even past connection. It doesn't have to be a person that's actively still in your life or a person's life, but it could be some type of connection that's keeping you captive from fully moving on. You see how it has this noose in the shape of a heart. It's still a tie here that's keeping someone in a specific place rather than moving forward. So if it's like, oh, what my ex did to me, or the trauma, or the cheating, or the lies, or they did this specific thing to me, and you're still kind of playing that, like it's still living rent free in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit, release it. Free yourself of it. Cancel out any soul ties, any counterfeit relationships that you might have entertained in the past, knowingly and unknowingly. For your person, I pray that this person frees himself or herself of any soul ties or any spirit husbands, spirit wives, or counterfeits. That they are free, they are set free to love the person that is for them. Because it's not about you. When you go into prayer, you don't make it about you. You're praying for the person, for their highest good, their wellness, right? Just as when you pray for yourself, you're praying. It's not about anybody else, right? At the end of the day. Because when you start praying for people for your benefit, that's witchcraft. That's manipulation. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. Goodness. Child, what? Okay. Whew, child. Yeah, these moms and stuff like that, yeah, get rid of them. Like, not get rid of them, but like they're the things that they've put on your mind. Like, if they, even if they said it out of love and they didn't know that what they were saying was limiting you and saying like, oh, you're a difficult person, I don't see how anybody's gonna be able to marry you, or oh, you just like your daddy, or you're just like me, and the women in our family don't have healthy relationships, or the women out. Like, the devil is a goddamn lie. It is not real. Yes. Get out of my way with that. Like, you got to. Like, and even if they don't know what they're saying. Even if they don't know what they're saying. That's not my story. That's not my reality. That's not my portion in life. That's not my experience. That's not going to be my love life, or that's not going to be my, you know what I mean? Like, cancel that out right away. Cancel that out. Oh, you're not gonna marry nobody, or oh, if you keep doing this, you're just gonna be single. Oh no, the devil's a lie. That's not true. I'm gonna have a healthy relationship. I'm gonna have somebody that loves me unconditionally. Because the thing is, with some people, they don't believe that it's possible for them, so they'll speak that against you and speak their own limitations over you. Cancel that out right now. Oh, you're so this, you're so that, you're never going to be that, and oh, if you do this, you're going to be here forever, and no, I'm not. No, it's not true. It's not true. And sometimes, some of you, and probably all of us, we deal with our mind, the battlefield of our mind that may say, oh, well, you're getting old. Or, oh, remember because you dated so and so, you're nobody's gonna want to date you. You have this and that going on for you, or you didn't do this, or you didn't graduate, or you're stupid, and why would you think you'll be able to ever progress in life in this, or why would you think somebody would want you? You're this, you're that, or maybe your mom put a complex in your head and said you were too chunky, or you're too skinny, or you look like your dad, you got a big nose like your daddy or something. I don't know, just whatever. And it made you think that, oh, because of my nose, I'm not pretty or nobody's going to ever want me. And you walk around with that word curse on you. Cancel that stuff out. It's lies. It is lies. Who is it? Maleficent, whatever her name is. Let me see what her card says. I think it's the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a secretive, intuitive figure whose power comes from deep within her own subconscious. Like Maleficent, however you say her name, she is sophisticated, calculating, and a magical force to be reckoned with. The High Priestess tarot card is a call to look deeper. You may not be seeing a situation, a friendship, or relationship in your life for what it really is. What is your intuition telling you? Take inspiration from mysterious Maleficent and embrace solitude to ruminate on the predestinment. Consider it carefully, for there are more going on than what meets the eye. The reverse meaning is she represents a lack of clarity that leads to confusion and insecurity. And I feel like that's what this High Priestess does. She tries to confuse you and cause insecurity. Or she's doing this to your person, whoever this feminine energy is. Says to regain self-confidence, channel Maleficent's determination and poise. Square your shoulders, stand tall, and remind yourself of your fierce inner power. While your true power or your true form may not be a fearsome dragon, trust that you have the strength it takes to cut through the chaos and come out on top. So, like this Maleficent person is heavily meditative and sits and goes within themselves, and they pick up information. You can do the same. Just as the same as she can, you can do that too. And to not be intimidated nor feel secure, because I feel like that is the tactic, that is the agenda, is to make you feel insecure and to make you feel powerless and to doubt yourself and cause you confusion. Counsel the spirit out of confusion, insecurities, self-doubt, fear, and intimidation. Cancel that out too, because those are spirits as well. Whether you want to call it energy or spirit, whatever it is, it's a force. And if it's not a divine force, why keep it open? Why leave the gates open for it? Whatever's inside of me that is intimidated by this, or whatever part of me that is given into the confusion or believed her words or their words, whoever they are, the Maleficent person, whoever they are, that I believed in or gave my power away or gave into vain imaginations, I cast down all vain imaginations in the name of the Most High, and Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you feel guided. I say Jesus because that energy's broken some stuff for me, so I ain't discounting that. But I can't say that that's everybody's thing, because some people are like, oh, Jesus, and oh, God, and like, so I ain't trying to like force anybody into anything, but I know that if I've dealt with something, calling on Jesus, like immediately, something breaks. So when I seal that, declare and decree and cast down something that's not for me, is power behind it. So I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm being divinely guided to share with you, and things that have also helped me in certain points of things the Spirit has told me to work against and pray against those spiritual attacks. And even if, like I said, a person's intentions are not to harm you, but yet and still, you know, as humans, we all can be used for a negative purpose if we're in a place of receptivity for those low vibrational energies and intents and wills. You know, we can all be used, right? So you got to be discerning. Even the most loving person, sometimes they have the capacity to be jealous, or They can pass off judgment, or they can give you some type of advice that comes from their own limitations or their own false beliefs. And if you come into agreement with that, knowingly or unknowingly, or in your lack of understanding of it, gotta be able to discern and see that. You know what I mean? In these readings, like, I understand, like, to some people, my readings may be triggering. It may come across as like, what the hell is she talking about? Because I'm not surface reading. I'm not talking about the superficial aspects of karmas and counterfeits and in a way to tickle your fancy or for you to feel like you that top one and you're competing. That's ego. There's no progression in that. And for some of you, like, your person is still caught up in a counterfeit connection because you might be called to pray for that person or to help them, not for yourself, but for them, because you have unconditional love for them and you want this person to be set free from anything or anyone that is not in alignment with their highest purpose and highest good. We focus too much on outside things, the person, the people, rather than the spirit and the demon or the energy, whatever you want to call it, or lower vibrational energy or whatever. So much, you give it too much power, and there's no movement, there's no breakthrough because you're not warring with it. You're not putting it in check. Not the person, but the spirit. That's where you tackle first. Spirit. First. And it's going to look like it's not working because the enemy is going to do that thing where it's like when you're praying and the energy's moving and something's shifting. Don't think that the enemy's not going to fight you on it and like make you intimidated or make you question, like, is it working? Is it happening? Is this person really, or, oh, I seen them post this, or the karmic posted that they're on a trip and it's not working. But like I said, because this is touchy, because I don't want you guys to like war against someone or something or a spirit in someone that is not for you to even do, because that's not your situation or that's not your person, or spirit did not call you to that or did not assign you to that situation. Like, just out here just praying in a mist. So, like, that's why I always say, like, don't take everything I say as gospel. Like, you guys got to use your discernment. And for those of you, some of you, you already know that. Like, And whatever you're hearing, it could already be confirmation to you. You already know what's going on. You guys are gifted. A lot of people that watch readings are already gifted themselves. So, it's not something that you don't already know. But for those that don't understand this type of stuff, what I would say to you is, go to source, divine source, and pray for confirmation whether the person that you suspect is your person or not. And if you resonate with this from a level of, I know there's a person for me, but I have yet to know who they are or meet them, their existence, but I know they exist, ask spirit to give you strategy on what is it that you're supposed to be praying for and about, for yourself and for your person and for your union, because you're going to need that when you guys come into union. Don't think that people are not going to try to come in the middle of it and try to tear it up and break it down and try to throw themselves at you or your person, or try to spread gossip and cause drama or jealousy. Like, don't think for a second that that's not going to happen, especially if it's something good and it's something real. And when people already have those seeds of jealousy, they already have whatever agendas they do have, those are the ones that are going to be used against you or try to attempt to do stuff to get under your skin or get under your person's skin. So you guys got to have a strand that's not easily broken, and that strand and that cord, that only thing that one thing that's going to keep you and your person together is your connection to spirit. Because without spirit, y'all out here aiming loose. You're not going to be able to know how to fight this thing. That divinity inside of you, you can't just be like, oh, whatever, once we come in together, we come into union, oh, it's just gonna, no. Y'all ever seen The Matrix? I think it's Matrix 2. And I gotta watch that again. But the agents were trying to keep Trinity and Neo separated. And I wonder why. Because love is a very powerful thing. Very powerful. Even more powerful when two people or more, like it says, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. When two people come together and they're operating in that divine energy, that divine spirit, it's powerful. Best believe, like, if it's truly a divine union, your connection is about to break generational curses. It's about to wake people up. It's about to make people believe in themselves again, believe in the divine, believe in love, believe in their gifts. It's going to wake people up to their wounds and their traumas, and it's going to do some things. It's going to do some work. So those that are of the dark and want to dwell in the darkness and play in the dirt and the mud and like to throw mud and hide their hand, oh, they gonna hate it. They're not gonna like it. They're not. But oh well, because that shift is gonna happen. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Because you yourself, you're already powerful. And if your person is not aware of who they are, or they're trying to run from who they are because they already do know who they are, they're aware of their divine identity or what they're called to do. When they're running from that part of themselves, they're not running from you, they're running from themselves. They're running from the divine, not running from you. And I don't want to do the, oh, runner chaser, but a person can fight against their divine destiny because their own hangups, because they don't feel like they're ready, or they don't feel like they're worthy, or whatever the case may be. But once that person stops running and they operate in their divinity, they're powerful. They're already powerful, just like you're already powerful. So when you two come together as a source, even more powerful. Even more powerful. So, your person doesn't have to be this perfect person, and neither are you. We're not perfect. But the difference that separates people that are willing is those that are not willing. And then there's the counterfeits that they project to be the real thing, but there's always something that is amiss, or there's something that is unsettled in your spirit about them. Or they're an abuser. They are, how do I explain it? They're demonic. They are just like every other agent in your life that you've ever experienced that has hurt you and harmed you, that has spoken against you and about you and over you, that has talking down to you, that has tried to beat you down, that has tried to silence you. That is not your person. It's not your person. A couple of flaky behavior, or not communicating properly and all of that, or maybe messing around with other women and stuff, that's not enough to say that they're not your person, because those things can be associated to inner child wounds, lust, and all of that. But you got to discern that. But if it's a person that is putting their hands on you, that is calling you everything but the child of God, or the goddess, or queen, or the king that you are, that is not your person. That actively seeks to hurt you, that's not your person. Because they're showing you that they hate you. That's not love. And I've dealt with a lot of counterfeits, and they all have something in common. They always try to, like, tear me down. They never uplifted me. They never wanted to see me happy. That's a demonic agent. Shit. Sleeping with the enemy, child. We can call it sleeping with the enemy. A man that's trying to compete with you, or your woman trying to compete with you, or they get jealous when you're doing good at work, or you graduated, or you're feeling cute that day and you're dressing up, you're smiling and you're laughing, or you're enjoying your friend's company, or they're jealous and they're trying to make you feel, oh, you look a little fat in that, or you need to lose some weight or something, or whatever, that could be coming out of their mouth. That is an agent of the enemy. Can your person be kind of used a little bit because of their wounds? Most definitely. But, like, tearing you down and, like, siding as an enemy, that's not your person. Karmic can be a friend. They're constantly competing with you. They're gossiping about you behind your back, smiling in your face, but at the same time don't really like you. They're not really happy for your wins. That's not your friend. That's a karmic. That's a counterfeit friend. As opposed to a divine friendship, divine helpers in your life that are going to pour into you, that genuinely want to see you do well in life, that add something to the equation, not take away. There's a difference. And sometimes when we've been wounded, we can confuse the counterfeit for the real deal. Because we've been hurt, that all we know is hurt. We never been genuinely, unconditionally loved before. To where it's hard to accept a person that truly loves you and wants to be with you, or someone that truly is your friend, or someone that really wants to help you in life. It's hard to discern that sometimes, and that's the part of healing that we gotta acknowledge our wounds and our inner child, traumas and stuff like that. Yeah, they can be catalysts too. Yeah, karmics are catalysts. A lot of my counterfeits were catalysts, whether it was to love myself more, whether it was to stand in my power, whether it was to see what I wanted and what I deserved and what I did not deserve. So, yeah, be grateful for those experiences. And one way to forgive them is to acknowledge the fact that we're all human, and some people, they have wounds and traumas that they have not identified with or worked on, and a lot of times what we're dealing with is the spirit, not the person. So forgive them and let them go for your own sanity and your own peace in life and for your future ahead of you, because you cannot afford to keep them wrapped around your ankles, weighing you down. Right. You will see the difference when you cut these people out of your life, because a lot of times they could be the very thing that blocks your blessings, the very thing that blocks your progress in life. Because spirit is like your vibration, like the energy, the environment you have. It's like having roaches. How you gonna move some nice furniture in your house when you got roaches everywhere, or you got all kind of boxes and old stuff hanging out in your house? You gotta throw that stuff away to make room. Spirit can't bless you with the things that's for you when you're still stuck in an energy or vibration or an environment around roaches and vultures and crabs in a barrel. If spirit's trying to pull you out, allow spirit to pull you out. If spirit is separating you from people, allow them to separate you. I might do a separate video on divine separation, the difference between divine separation that's needed for a time versus like complete separation for you that's needed. But if spirit is pulling you away from things, even if it's your person, because let's say hypothetically your person, yeah, the people demote themselves, yeah, they'll remove themselves. But for those of you that, let's say for instance you are in a divine separation, as my mentor calls it, where spirit separates two people because at that time there may be things that spirit needs to work on inside of you, and things that maybe you are supposed to be doing or just being with yourself for a time, for a reason, as in your person. Because when you're caught up in the mix and mixing and mingling with things, or you're trying to put your hand in the pot too much, spirit has to cause a separation sometimes. Or your person could be at a certain place where they're still caught up with, friends or family members doing whatever and saying whatever, and they have not put them in check, properly put them in check, healthily and lovingly put them in check with boundaries. And friends that they need to put in check and boundaries or cut off, or they're still dealing with karmics and partners sleeping with a whole bunch of people and all of that stuff. Like, they still got all that stuff going on that's not going to be productive nor constructive for you nor for them. So spirit has to separate you and to protect your energy. Sometimes separation is protection, and sometimes separation is elevation that comes behind it. That is another thing that she said. In quote, she says, divine separation leads to elevation. So sometimes spirit will cause separations in order to promote people to the next level, to elevate them, to allow the new to come into their life. So if it seems as though you're being guided to separate yourself as spirit, okay, what do you want me to do at this time? Or if spirit's calling you to separate yourself from a person, then honor that. Yep. And like Veronica said, when you cut, and that's another thing too, this is another test. Just when you cut people off, don't be surprised if they hit you up. They're going to. They're going to always try their hand with you to see. They're going to test the waters to see, like, okay, can I get in? And I wouldn't say to completely discount people and just like shut them and shun them out, but your spirit will tell you immediately whether somebody's on some bullshit. And a lot of times, like when you put up boundaries with people, they'll show you their true colors. They'll snap at you, they'll pop off at you, they'll cuss you out, or they'll show their true intentions of why they even came back around or why they hit you up. That's another thing too. They'll tell on themselves. A lot of times you don't gotta say anything. They'll show you. Because they can't contain the mask for too long. Like, they'll just be fake nice for a time to check in and see and monitor you, or to try to see if they can get one. Let me see if I can get over on this person. Just one more time. Let me see. Then when you cut them off, they'll show their true colors. Trust me. Trust me. They will show you that they are not to be trusted and why you cut them off in the first place, or why spirit told you to separate yourself from them. You may have not understood it at the time, but you'll get it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's why. Thank you, spirit. Yeah. And I want to say too, like, get familiar with divine spirit's voice so that you are not easily deceived, because the enemy will come in a way of light, but it's always some type of loophole in it, or there's always a catch to it. With spirit, the spirit of divine is very subtle, and it's very powerful but subtle, and it comes with clarity and understanding. Even if you don't have the full picture of something, you'll know enough. It's like when your parent tells you something, you'll be like, Mommy, can I go play outside? And they'll be like, no, you don't need to. You don't question it. Be like, sometimes you do want to be like, but why can't I go outside? There's nothing wrong with going outside. And if spirit is telling you something, you'll know that it's for your highest good. You'll just hear that, you'll just honor it. And when I say voice, doesn't always have to be that you hear spirit audibly. Sometimes it's just that inner knowing within yourself, you know, but you can discern when spirit is instructing you, guiding you, giving you wisdom. It comes with clarity. It comes with understanding, right? With the enemy, it's always confusion. It's always fear. It's anxiety. It's pressure. It's not sound. It doesn't come with clarity and reassurance. Even if you don't, like I said, you don't have to know everything, but it's enough to be like, okay, I trust it, and this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what I'm feeling led to do. It's clear. It's clear. And another thing for some of you, I would encourage to ask for confirmation whether, you know, a person that you have on your heart and on your mind maybe is in fact your person. And if spirit confirms that to you in a way that is a, you know what you know, it's no mistake in what you know type of thing, that, okay, spirit, where I'm at within this connection, what do you want me to do? Or I'm seeing some things, anything that you see that is not, like, it's off, like with the person, like, you know, this person is acting like this, or they have anger, like they're you know, triggering this, and it's showing you what you need to heal within yourself, and also maybe things within this person that they need to heal as well. And that's something that you want to work towards, praying for this person, or praying against those spirits that may be causing this person to operate in like their ego, operating in pride or stubbornness. And again, you're not praying for your benefit, but for their benefit. Remember that. Okay? It has to be sincere, and it has to be from the heart, from a pure place, a place of love. Stop micromanaging these people, what they doing, who they talking to, when are they coming back. Don't obsess over it. If it's for you, it's not going to pass you by. Trust me, it's not. It's not going to pass you by. Spirit is not going to mislead you or guide you. We can blame spirit. We can blame our ancestors. Be like, oh, they told me. Some of the time, they didn't tell you that. They did not tell you to do that. They didn't tell you to reach out to nobody. They didn't tell you that that was your... Like, we can be just drawing our own conclusions sometimes and get mad at spirit when it don't happen, or get mad at a reader because we just clicked on something and we sat in our mind, I hope this is about Joey. You know what I mean? Like, it might resonate to an extent. But please use your discernment, you guys. I'm just being silly, but for real, use your discernment, you guys. I can't stress that enough, okay? And when I say use your discernment, be of a sober mind and sober heart. Don't be so overly emotionally attached to things to where you're not seeing things spiritually clear. And if you feel like you're dealing with the spirit of confusion, pray that off, and also ask for spirit to remove the scales off of your eyes so you can see. You can see clear. And you can hear spirit clear. Like, clean my ears, spirit, so I can hear you real good. I don't want to listen to no foreign voices, not even my own, because our heart can be very powerful and persuasive, and it can pull us in a certain direction, but there's the emotional aspect and spirituality that will trip you up. You gotta be balanced mentally and emotionally with spiritual things. You can't be too emotional high up in the sky, and you can't be too practical either, to where you just discount the movement of spirit or your ability within that. You know what I mean? Within the spirit. Use your discernment. Seek source about everything. Before you click on a video, or before you pay for a reading, or before you hit your homegirl up and ask a question, or before you pull your own cards, because, you know, some of us, we do that, right? Sit with spirit. Sit with spirit. Spirit is not a 8-ball to where you ask a question and it comes immediately all the time. Sometimes spirit will give you that clarity in ways like later, where you're minding your own business and that confirmation comes, or comes in a way that you were not looking for it. Oftentimes it's going to come in a way that you least expect. It might come immediately. It might come in that stillness or that confirmation, or it could come in a dream. It could come through another person's voice. But sit with spirit first. Source, God, whatever you want to call the source, like Most High. You know, I need clarity. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Or I'm confused. Is it this person? Is it that person? Have I met my person? Is the things that I've been sensing and feeling, what's that about? Does it mean this? And sit in stillness. Because when we speak, allow spirit to speak to you too. And it doesn't always have to be audible. Sometimes it's just when you're centered, you can sense and feel God's presence. Sit with it. And sometimes it'll just be, okay, I'm going to just set it and leave it alone. I'm going to send my cares and my worries to the divine, and I'll leave it alone. And I'm going to just keep living my life, do whatever. And then later that day or that week or something, you'll get your confirmation. Or you'll get a no, or you'll get a yes, or you know what I mean? Like, make it a habit to develop a relationship with the divine, so you know when the divine is speaking to you. And some of you guys already have that relationship. You just gotta touch in with spirit and just ask spirit for clarity or confirmation or understanding or direction or instructions at this time. You guys could be at different points in your life, in your journeys, in your situations. So, I mean, it could be endless, right? But I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. Yeah, this was a long message. I didn't expect it, but like sometimes like the messages is not always just solely in the cards. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, the gifting is not just in the cards. I have to tell people that sometimes. They expect you to just be pulling cards and no. Sometimes I don't need the cards. I don't. You don't need the cards. You don't need the cards either. You don't need the cards to tell you. You don't gotta pull no cards. You ain't gotta buy no readings. Like, you got spirit's number. Just call spirit up. Text spirit. Spiritually speaking, like, really, we all have access to spirit. That is our source of everything. No one is exempt from that connection or that source. None of us are. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to be a hot girl too, and Spirit was like, you thought. And I got pregnant, and hey, and then even a little bit after that, I was still off, like moving around stupidly until I went through that shake up, that awakening, and it was like, what you think you doing? Who the hell, like, what did you think you do? Like, who is this girl that you think you is? Like, this is not you. This is not who I called you to be. I don't know who you think you are. But this ain't your life, and you need to get it together. Yeah. Yeah, some of our ancestors made covenants to like evil things and like was into some dark stuff. So if you need to, for the sake of your ancestors, denounce those demonic covenants that they may have made so that it's not operating in your life, your bloodline, your children's. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's another thing too. Some of our ancestors aren't, some of them, they wasn't doing, some of them was on some bullshit. So, yeah. Sometimes it be like that. Like, who is this person and what do you think you're doing? This is not the Chenoa that I called you to be. I don't know about you, right? But yeah, like sometimes it's like that because we'll have our own agendas in life, and sometimes like if you're called and y'all know, like if you're called, and some are called, some are chosen, or few are chosen, and when you're like chosen or called to a certain thing, and it's not some type of thing to like brag and to boast about, because what comes with that, just like Neo represented the one, right? Neo means one. He was the chosen one, right? To break that matrix. So when you're chosen to break that matrix, your warfare gonna come. Like this is not. What movie can I like use an example for what a lot of people think that this is? Because if you want to talk about like divine counterparts and soulmates and twin flames and blah, 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 Neo and Trinity, they were that, but you saw that they went through warfare, right? Y'all didn't see no, they got together and they were like holding hands in a field full of sunflowers and daisies and having babies and taking trips, and that part of it. It's not to say that it's all about warfare, because you're gonna have some. It's like, it's a balance. Again, you're human, but you also are a spiritual person as well, and not every person that is um feeling this connection with this person and that person, not every single person is called to that type of journey. I think it just sounds cute to some people, but it's not. Does it gotta be like Neo and Trinity to the point where you like got a like machine guns popping people and stuff? No, it doesn't gotta be that deep. It could be like you guys come together for the purpose and um the purpose to heal your bloodline through your union and your children, and just you two being together. It's going to inspire people. Like, I want to experience that. I want to experience that type of love. Or this person, they seem to be very happy within their own skin. I aspire to be that way. Or I love how this couple, their family, how they are structured, how they love each other. That could be a purpose too. So there's so many different templates of it, but I feel like we look at it from this hippie, crossing your legs Indian style with sunflowers all around you aspect of it, and that's not always the reality, or at least that's not the full picture. What is this? I've been looking at this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like, it looks like I'm playing with my nipples. I'm sorry. I try to cover them up. It's not always that way, and I feel like people only focus on the base level, like a certain level of, oh, this is my person and we're gonna be together and we're twin flames and you can't stop thinking about them, and then, oh, the karmics are doing that, and like that. No, no. But it takes time. Like, when I first started doing these readings and stuff, I don't really remember everything. But I think during that time, it was enough to where spirit felt like I could handle the information that I was given and the work that I was guided to do. It was at a level that met where I was spiritually and my spiritual maturity or the lack thereof. So, you know, certain aspects of our journeys, but if it's like that's all you fixate on, or you're only looking at the lower levels of what a person is doing and you're obsessing over someone or something outside of yourself, whether that's a timeline, whether that's the person, whether it's what they're doing, how do they feel, oh, they're this karmic and she's doing this and he's doing that and then and that, and you get stuck on that. No. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to know these things. But again, it's that level of obsession and idolatry that's not good. And you don't always want to be focusing on like the fear, because spiritual warfare should not provoke fear in you, because you're a gangster out here. You're equipped for this. Or at least you're being equipped for this. So it's not something to fear. But it's all about strategy. It's all about awareness and discipline with these things. But if you're going to be that divine counterpart, or those divine counterparts that come together, you do have to be selfless. You have to lay down your own agendas, and that's not saying to put down your dreams and your goals, because spirit wants you to follow your path that you're called to. But like certain agendas and things, like selfishness and those things, like spirit is going to want you to put that aside, and your person put that aside. And if your person is someone that is powerful, not only in the physical sense, when I say powerful, not like physically, and maybe they are physically powerful, but spiritually, and they're very influential, or they're very motivating, and they are ambitious, and they have giftings and skills and things like that. They're anointed in so many ways. That person already has their own set of warfare and battles that they go through day to day. So for you to come in and add in addition to stress and not know how to support your partner or pray for them, or to speak life into them, and vice versa, them for you, that's not going to work. And I feel like right now, that's why spirit is equipping a lot of us to our healing, to seek spirit out, to remove our wounds that won't allow people that are supposed to come into our lives come into our lives, or to allow that healthy love to embrace and accept it. Spirit stripping us of those wounds and revealing these things to us, and helping the others too. We're helping ourselves through helping others too. And also the whole prayer thing too, or whatever you want to call it, where you have the ability, because prayer is a weapon. Don't discount that. Don't look at it as just some weak thing that you just sit on your knees. Like, prayer is, it's a seal. It's a force. It's a movement. It's a weapon. So don't discount that. Rather than just like sitting here and be like, oh, this is happening, it's like, let me go handle this and take this up in the spirit realm. And it's like, it takes time. Like, I'm not mastered at that by any means. I'm just getting into the place where it's like, stop just allowing certain things to just go under the radar. No, speak on that. Like, face that. Denounce that. Cancel that out. Because you have the permission and you have the dominion and the right to do that. Anything that is wicked and is coming up against you or your loved ones or whatever, you pray against that thing and you cast that down. And not only are you praying against, but you're praying for. You're declaring and decreeing the things that is your birthright, that you are calling into your life. It's as above, so below principle. As it is in the spirit, as it is on earth, as it is in heaven. So you're calling these things down out of the spirit into the physical. So however you feel led to do that. I feel like I'm like talking way too much. And it almost feels like I can't stop. So no, his contact was paid up, girl. The dark light attributes and the yin and yang, everything is duality. Yeah. So yeah, just like duality where you're praying and warring against the things that you want to cut cords and ties with, or to free yourselves of, or your family, your loved ones, your person. You also want to pray life over yourself and your loved ones. And you know, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me, or I can do exceedingly and abundantly, or it's my birthright to have, it's not good for man to be alone, and I'm calling forth my divine partner, my divine connection. And I remember one of my spiritual sisters, when she was in her single season, she kept, she had this mantra, this affirmation that she would always say. She said, if I'm here, so is my divine. And she didn't know who her person was, but she said that mantra until her and her husband met. And it wasn't even shortly, it was within the same year. It was in the same year, and that was her thing that she said. She would remind herself that if I'm here, so is my divine partner. And sure enough, they met. So yeah. I can't see the comments. Hold on. It's a difficult walk. Yeah, it's a narrow path. It is. It is. It's very easy to be like, I'm just gonna go date this person, and knowing that it's something that's not all the way settled in your spirit, but because you know you're attracted, or this person is attracted to you, and you kind of like them a little bit, or they have something that you kind of like, or they're safe, you'll settle. And that's not everybody's path, you know what I mean? And it does take courage to be like, no, I'm away from my person that's for me, whether I know who they are or I don't know them yet. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to walk my path and trust that our paths are going to cross eventually. Like, it takes a lot of discipline to move in that. Like, trust me. Like, I've been single for probably 8 years. How old was my baby? I think she was 4 years old when I broke up with her father, and she's 12. So I've been single for that long. I might have dated in between for a couple of months with somebody, but like really being with somebody and serious enough to like be under the same roof with one another and doing all that couple stuff and going through the trials and the tribulations, like, no. That has not happened yet. So, yeah. It is difficult to wait. It is. Like, and that decision to wait on your person, like, in so many ways, like, not just their physical presence, but for the person that matches you on an emotional and mental level, or holds it, like, it's a compatible, it's a complementary type of connection. Yeah, because you might, like, you can have certain components of a situation or a connection and be like, settle in it, like good conversation, or somebody that I have a good time with, or somebody that I have good sex with, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can have certain elements of that, but to to not entertain completely, like, it's not to say that I have not had male companions in the meantime, and like where we talked. I've shared my abstinent journey. I've been abstinent probably like 5 or 6 years now. So I have not had sex in years. And that is by choice. Child. Yeah. It's much, yeah. Yes, it's a rose quartz. That is a choice, and it's not. That's not always fun either. Like I'm sure y'all, like Bianca, says you can attest. Like that's not easy. It's not. But my whole thing is the reason why I stopped having sex is because that last straw when I did it, that level of intimacy, it was lacking, and I couldn't just focus on the fact of the physical act and all of that, and it just wasn't. And I had sex with this person before a few times. It's just no. It was just like, what the hell is you doing? Like this is fucking disgusting. Like I just couldn't do it. So yeah, some days you be wanting to risk it all, but I'm so grateful that spirit be blocking it though. Oh my god, I just be like, child, like, cause I've had interest in people. I've had little crushes on my, like, little guy friend that wouldn't mind risking it, but and I respect the fact that some of them they won't even do that. I just, child, but it's not so bad because I remind myself again that like if I do it, I might be like, no, it's cool because you ain't my person, and I want to experience sex on a different level, not just some casual like, oh he's fine and oh he's funny, we had a good time tonight and we talked for a while. I don't want it to be that, only to know that you're gonna be stripped from me eventually anyway because you're not my person. I don't want to have to deal with that. Sex ain't, it's not that important to me to where I'm willing to do that. Some people might look at it differently. That's just my perspective, and I respect other people's choices and decisions with their body. And as I would want somebody to respect my decision and choices with my body, I just don't feel like it's worth it. I just don't. No, it's not. So that's that. Yes, I want to experience sex differently on that level, on a divine, with my divine person. It's just a whole nother thing. Like, I don't want to just be looked at some sex doll, you know what I mean? Or just like, because anybody can do that's what I'm saying. Like, your person, like, it's a different standard. Like, any man, you know what I mean? Like, they gonna look at it like that. But your divine, it's different. Yeah, it's different. And you know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. So I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. This is a long, long, long message, and y'all know I can be on here talking to y'all forever, but we're not gonna do that. We can do that. I know we can because we've been on the live one time just having a discussion about music and all kind of stuff, and we was on for like 3 hours, probably 4. But I love that though. I love that type of stuff. But this is meant to be like a message and reading, so I'm not gonna do too much with this. So if you guys stuck it out this long, God bless you. Hopefully you found something in it. And for my sisters slash moderators, thank you for joining. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for chiming in and sharing y'all experiences and your downloads as well. So yeah. Yep. Save and preserve that energy, that good energy. Even your heart. Our heart it has energy. It's a circuit of energy and power, and protect that too. Like, you got to protect your heart out in these streets with people that are not meant to hold it and have it. Some people don't even know how to take care of it. It's like giving a 3-year-old some expensive china. What you think they gonna do with it? They ain't gonna know what to do with it. They don't know the value of it. They're just gonna break it. It's like, ooh, this is pretty. Not your heart. Not your heart. It's definitely priceless. So I appreciate y'all. I'm about to get off. Yes, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful, sis. It is. It's gonna be well worth it. It is. And for those of y'all that are like true virgins that ain't never had it, like, sis, protect that. I wish I would have as a child. I wish somebody would have told me early before I came into my, you know, that stage. I wish somebody would have told me. Yes. Not all 3 year olds are built alike. Yes, some of us would be like, this is really pretty, this is really nice. I know Granny, you know, this is something valuable to Granny. I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna marvel at it, but I ain't gonna do that to it. And some is just like some bad asses. But no, let's cut it short, y'all. I appreciate you. Much love, y'all. Be blessed, be safe, take care. Peace.